Hey guys, today we're going to be doing a palette of the week review video. If you follow me on Instagram, I think it was about July, I started using a different palette each week because I was just really wanting to use a lot of my palettes, and unfortunately I have enough that I can use a different palette each week for a good chunk of time. It's ridiculous. So in order to make myself feel better about having so many palettes, I wanted to start using them weekly. I don't have all of the palettes because of this challenge. I was able to sort of weed out a few that I didn't love. I swapped them away or gave them away to other people that did want them. And then there's a few that I'm kind of on the fence about that I might try to sell. And yeah, so if you guys want to see the palette of the week challenge, then just keep watching. So the very first, I have them all on a list. Yeah, 25 palettes. I actually don't have the very first palette. I will try to pop up a picture of it if I can figure out how to do that. The first palette was the Lorac AfterGlo palette, and I had the Afterglow and the Summer Glow. I think I got them for like $10 on clearance, so they weren't terribly expensive. And I'd had them forever and just never used them. They were okay, but the colors weren't pigmented enough for me to want to keep them. And after looking through some of my other palettes, I found things that I could totally replicate those colors with. So I decided to pass those on. The next palette is the It Cosmetics Naturally Pretty Celebration palette. Let's look at the packaging. It's holographic. I do really like this palette. It is all matte, and then there's this transforming shade, which I didn't use often, but I do definitely love this palette, and I'll totally keep this and recommend this if you, I think it's still available. The next palette is another one that I don't have, and that is the Stila In The Light palette. Mine was, I don't know if it was just old or what, I've never used Stila eyeshadows before, but it was really, the eyeshadows were hard, and they weren't pigmented, and it was a struggle to use it, and I just quickly gave up on it. I didn't even try to use it all week. I think I tried to use it for like 2 days, and I just gave up on it. So I think I swapped it to someone who wanted it. The next palette, I don't know the name of it. It's from one of the Tarte holiday collections. This is the, it doesn't say the name, but it's from the, I believe, the 2013 holiday collection, and I think this might have been the Sephora exclusive. I took the piece of acetate off that has the names on it because it was annoying. And again, I like this palette. I like these eyeshadows. I like the shimmers. I like that there's mattes. I like the palette. It's fine, and I definitely will keep it. I wish I knew the name. I'm sorry, I don't. The next palette is from Lorac, and this is called the Mint Collection. And I believe I got this on Haute Look, so I don't know where this originated, if it was a holiday or what. And it's just a little tiny 6 eyeshadow, 1 cheek palette. But I love the mint eyeshadow. I know that's so weird. I love the mint eyeshadow, and then the other colors are actually very nice too. The purple is really nice, and the blush is nice. It's shimmery but not crazy. And these 3 are all mattes, and then these 3 are all shimmer eyeshadows. So it's a nice, like, easy kind of everyday. I know most people don't wear mint eyeshadow every day. You don't have to wear the mint color. You can just use the neutral colors, and it's really a nice little palette. And I love how compact the Lorac palettes are. That makes me happy. The next palette is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Artist palette, and I believe this is the first Anastasia palette that I have ever purchased. I believe. Mainly bought this because look at that yellow, and then I didn't even use the yellow. Like, what's wrong with me? I was so scared. The green is called Anaconda, and it's gorgeous. And the other colors are fine as well. I mean, I think Anastasia is pretty well known for having quality products, and I definitely enjoyed this palette. You can see, I don't know if you can see, but there's quite a little dip in the green color, Apparently I was going to town on that one. The next palette is the OG Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. I mean, there's nothing you can really say bad about this palette. It's really nice. It smells like chocolate. It smells like chocolate, and this is just sort of a easy palette to use. It's very heavy. I like the case. I wish that mine had the names printed on the pans. Whatever. Next is, I mean, this is truly the OG. This is the Urban Decay Naked palette. I think that I was really busy this week and I was doing a garage sale at my grandma's house, so I was just like, I need like the easiest thing ever, and that was this. You can't go wrong with this. I love Half Baked and Toasted and Smog and Sidecar and Buck, and I mean, I just love this palette. It's super easy. Obviously, I'm going to keep my Naked palette. The next palette is the Holiday Collection palette that Bare Minerals released in 2014. This is called, I think it's called the Magic Act. It doesn't say. I'm pretty sure this is called the Magic Act palette. It is an eye and cheek palette. I love this palette. This is one of my favorite palettes. It's so simple, but I love that it's just pretty, and the eyeshadows are really good quality. I love the blushes in this palette as well. I love that it folds. It's not a compact palette, but it's not as bulky as some other palettes that don't have cheek products in it, and I just really love this palette like a lot, and I'm really glad that I bought this one. So I mean, I don't know if you can get this anywhere, but I totally love this palette and definitely going to keep it. The next palette is the Smashbox On The Rocks palette, and I believe this is their like Christmas one from last year, I think. I'm not sure. This is such a massive palette. It's huge and it's so heavy. The mirror is intense in this guy. And again, just a nice, it's colorful, but there's neutrals, there's shimmers, there's mattes. I really have enjoyed the Smashbox eyeshadows that I've used, so I will keep this. I do wish that it were not so huge because, I mean, look at all this space. It doesn't need to be this heavy, but I mean, if you need a weapon, you'll crush your eyeshadows, but you could knock someone in the head with this, no problem. I feel pretty confident. Not that you should be doing that. The next palette is from Ulta, and this is the Makeup Revolution Unicorns Unite palette, and I absolutely kept the box because it's purple and holographic. That's obviously the most important part. The palette itself is really nice. It's colorful. Probably could get rid of this palette, but I want to keep playing with it because I feel like I just didn't have enough time to use the eyeshadow, so I am going to hang on to it. I think it was like $10, so it wasn't an expensive palette at all. I would say the shadow quality is decent. They're not at all the most pigmented shadows you've ever used, but they're not complete crap. I would say it's a $10. It's like an affordable price for this. It's a good price for this. Better than the $10 Maybelline Nudes palette. Just saying. Next is the Urban Decay Vice 3. I really love this palette. I mean, look at this. I'm gonna blind you, I'm sorry, but look at this green. I'm not swatching anything except this. I love green eyeshadow. It's like a weakness for me, along with makeup and all other things. But I really do love this palette. I'm not getting rid of my Vice 3. It's fine. I need to use this more, to use like the brighter shades in here, because that's sort of the point of the Vice palettes, I feel. And I am so not scared, but I usually don't have a ton of time to do my makeup, so I tend to go for very like easy neutral, maybe some purple, but really kind of easy eye look. Next is a little 8 shadow palette from Bare Minerals. This is called one of their Ready Eyeshadow 8.0, and this is the Posh Neutrals, and I really liked this. I think I reached for this a few different times during this challenge. Like there was one day, I think 1 week where I didn't actually pick a palette and I just like went back to this. Super easy to wear, very easy. It's one of those easy things. Like that's the big deal for me. And the eyeshadow quality was really, really nice. So definitely like this, and I think there's a Power Neutrals and some other neutral one, and I kind of want to get that one too because I liked this one so much, and it's super compact. The next little palette is from Butter London, and this is their Natural Charm Shadow Clutch. This was sent to me, and I'm so stoked that it was because I love these. There are two versions of this. There's a Natural Charm, and I can't remember what the other one is called. I'll try to make a little note of what it's called. I really love these. The eyeshadows are a bit powdery, but they're so soft and creamy that I mean, it's not like a big deal. It does come with a nice little double-ended brush. I don't think I used this brush. Maybe I did. There's a little powder coming off of it. It's fine. And then the shadows. My only complaint about this is I wish that you could purchase an empty palette, because the whole point of the shadow clutch is that the eyeshadows pop out and you can mix and match the eyeshadows. You can take this brown out and put a purple in or whatever. So I wish that you could purchase an empty shadow clutch. The last time I checked you couldn't. Maybe that's something they've added now. I should double check. Because I have 4 extra eyeshadows that just don't go anywhere, and I want to be able to put them somewhere. And this is a nice mirror, little brush, very easy to travel with, and it's got a sturdy case. So I really did like these, and I hope they come out with more color. The next palette is another Anastasia palette. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Shadow Couture World Traveler palette. This one is pretty rough looking, but I think I like this one more than the Artist palette just because I feel like I can wear these colors every day easier than some of the brighter, like the bright yellow in the Artist palette. These two colors right here I love. This is called Metallic and Pink Champagne. They're quality, they blend nicely, they're not powdery. I like it. And the eyeshadow palettes are very affordable considering that Anastasia is, in my opinion, I mean, it's a high-end brand, but I think these were $30. So this is the Ulta Gilded Gold palette. There's 12 eyeshadows, mattes, and shimmers, and this is sort of like their version of like a naked palette. These were okay. I could definitely get rid of this if I need, or give it away to someone if I needed to. It does come with a decent brush. Eyeshadows are okay. They're not the most amazing thing ever. It's sufficient. I think this was $20. So I could get rid of this. I didn't like love it, but I didn't hate it either. It was just sort of like, yeah, okay. It's from Morphe. This is the Jaclyn Hill Favorites palette, and I like this palette. I don't think that is my favorite palette just because I'm not going to utilize all of the colors in here. Like, I'm not going to use this color that's bright orange. Like, I'm not going to use that. I do think that the purple is pretty and this green is really pretty, but these aren't the most pigmented eyeshadows ever. I feel like the single Morphe eyeshadows are better than this in my opinion. However, I do like the palette. I'm going to keep it. The next is the Vice 4, and I wasn't going to get this because I was trying to be really good, and then I had to. I love this. Again, this green is just like, I want to like rub that green all over my face. Is that like a normal feeling anyone else has when you see a beautiful color? You're just like, I just want to rub it on my face. Is that normal? Does anyone else do that? Is that just me? Am I crazy? I do like it. I love this dark green too. I'm gonna keep my Vice palette. I did return my Vice Limited palette. The case seemed very cheap, and I know that's a ridiculous thing to complain about, but it still was an expensive palette, and if I'm spending that much on a palette, I want the case to not feel like crap. And then the colors looked very similar to colors that were in some of my other naked palette, or Vice palettes. So I did return the Vice Limited palette, but the Vice, like the regular Vice palettes, I'm going to keep. Okay, so the next palette is the Too Faced Stardust palette. And I've got to be honest, I was pretty disappointed with this palette. And it's so pretty. It's so pretty. I don't know, as I was using this, I wasn't like in love with it. And there was not really anything wrong with it. I just wasn't as wowed by it as everyone else is. And I don't know why that is. The colors are beautiful. There's purples and neutrals and golds and champagne colored and pinks, and I don't know, I wasn't loving it as much as everyone else does. The next palette is the Lorac Pro, the original. I love this. I mean, I always am like, I'm always sort of taken aback at how dirty everyone's Lorac Pro palettes are, but these are just really messy eyeshadows. They're very powdery. They're not chalky, but they are very powdery, and they're very soft, so they just kind of get everywhere. But they're so beautiful. So obviously I'm going to keep my Lorac Pro palette. I love this. And again, it's nice and slim. Next palette was another disappointment, not because of the shadow quality, but because I knew that this wasn't the type of palette that I loved, and I bought it anyway because YouTube hype made me buy it. And that is the Morphe 35O palette. There's nothing wrong with this palette, but there's so many oranges in here that I'm not going to use. Clearly, I knew that going into it, but it was just, like I said, the hype, and I don't know what I was thinking. Like this bright orange down here, I'm never going to use that. I can't wear orange eyeshadow. It makes me look like I'm dying. I just can't do it. I don't know how people do it. I don't get it. The golds and the metallic-y, shimmery shades are really nice in here. The mattes are just okay. The mattes that I used are okay. Please don't shoot me. The next palette is from Buxom. This is one of the customizable eyeshadow palettes. So I picked the colors that go in here. It comes with a brush that I didn't use. I love these. I want to get more of them. The shadows are very soft and creamy, and they blend nicely, and the shimmers are nice. They have nice color payoff. The silver is like intense. This is another Bare Minerals palette. This is the Regal Wardrobe. This is the holiday palette for 2015, and because I love the Magic Act palette, I wanted to buy this year's, and again, I love it. I wasn't going to because I was being really good, and then I swatched this cognac shade, and I was like, oh wait, that's gorgeous and smooth and creamy and buttery and delightful. You should come home with me. So I bought it, and I like the blushes in this palette, I think, even more than I do the other one. I just really like these palettes. The next palette is the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette. I purchased this in the fall with my Ulta points because I had saved them up for the whole year, so I had a bunch of points to use. I definitely need to use this more. I like it, but I don't really love it thus far. I haven't played with it a ton. I think this was one of those weeks where I didn't really wear makeup every day, so I definitely am going to keep it and play with it more. I like it, I just am not like full on in love with it. And then the last palette is one of the little palettes that came in the Tarte Greatest Glitz collection. That was the Christmas collection for, I think it was an Ulta exclusive for 2015. So this is the gold palette. There are 3 little palettes. There's a pink one and a gray one. I ran out of time, so I only got to use the gold. I like this palette. I'm not really surprised by this. I do really like Tarte eyeshadows, so I'm definitely going to keep this and probably play with the other 2 in between using up my Lorac Resort palette, which I'm trying to pan this year. So I hope you guys enjoyed this sort of recap. I know it was really quick, but I was trying not to make this video 45 minutes long. If you guys have used any of these palettes, let me know your thoughts. Let me know what some of your favorite eyeshadow palettes are. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will talk to you guys soon.